Now in the middle of one of the most significant eras in automotive, Carl Anthony amplifies the minds and voices behind this historic transformation as the host of AutoVision News Radio.
Mic check 1 2.
All while coming to terms with middle age, father loss, and what it means to be successful in Detroit.
According to an annual survey conducted by AAA since 2016, most Americans have and still maintain a healthy skepticism of fully autonomous vehicles. AAA's yearly survey gauges public sentiment around self-driving cars, and while overall it appears most consumers do not trust them or do not trust them yet, it's a different story for ADAS features. In AAA's 2025 Autonomous Vehicle Survey, 64% said they would definitely or probably want automatic emergency braking on their next vehicle. 62% said they want reverse automatic emergency braking, while nearly 60% said they want a lane-keeping assistance feature. The data from AAA indicates that consumers are open to more ADAS features, but that is predicated on whether or not the latest ADAS features perform at an optimized level. The word we often use in this scenario is trust. Can consumers trust the ADAS innovations in their vehicle? The results of an on-road evaluation and study released in late August 2025 by AAA may cast some doubt on that notion. The purpose of the study was to evaluate the performance of active driving assistance systems of various new passenger vehicles in low-speed, high-traffic conditions. Active driving assistance systems, as defined by AAA, are Level 2 ADAS technologies that can automatically provide steering and acceleration and deceleration support in certain situations, although the driver must remain engaged. AAA notes that many of these systems are now designed to function in low-speed, high-traffic environments. This project, undertaken by AAA, evaluated 5 late-model vehicles with systems designed to operate in traffic congestion and at speeds down to a complete stop. In this AAA study, the selected vehicles were evaluated naturalistically on public roadways, while various data points were recorded. When a notable event occurred with the active driving assistance system, the AAA researcher dictated that information into an audio recorder. AAA, in partnership with the Automobile Club of Southern California's Automotive Research Center, tested the vehicles on limited access highways, following designated routes during the day. Testing was conducted in the greater Los Angeles area due to its consistent traffic flow and the abundance of roadways on which active driving assistance systems can operate. Routes were selected based on a variety of conditions, including direction, sun exposure, road surface condition, and overpasses and tunnels, with all tests conducted on weekday mornings and afternoons to increase the likelihood of a heavy traffic environment. Join me as I share some of the results from this AAA study titled Active Driving Assistance Traffic Jam Evaluation.
Moving at the speed of mobility, this is AutoVision News Radio with Carl Anthony in Detroit, Michigan.
The 5 vehicles tested by AAA were all 2024 model year and included a Ford F-150 Platinum Super Crew, Honda Accord LX, Lexus RX 450h Plus Luxury, Mazda CX-30 2.5 Turbo Premium Plus, and a VW Atlas SE with all-wheel drive and the technology package. Before the test, each vehicle received a comprehensive multi-point inspection. AAA posed 2 questions for this study. First, how do active driving assistance systems of new passenger vehicles perform in real-world high-traffic situations? And how does the performance of a hands-off system, how does that compare to a hands-on system? Once on the road, AAA researchers were looking for notable events. AAA defined a notable event as any situation in which the active driving assistance system fails to adequately handle the conditions as determined by the researcher operating the vehicle. Put another way, a notable event is anything that might cause a consumer to have a less than positive reaction with the ADAS technologies in their car. In total, notable events were recorded every 3.2 miles, or about 9 minutes on average, requiring AAA researchers to intervene 85% of the time. The total number of notable events during this study was 533, with researchers intervening in 451 of those instances. The most common notable event, with 199 occurrences, was inadequate cut-in response, which required the AAA researcher to intervene with their test vehicle 90% of the time. Cut-ins are defined as situations when another car would enter the lane directly in front of the test vehicle. These cut-in situations occurred every 8.6 miles, or about every 24.5 minutes on average. Inadequate lane centering was the second most frequent notable event, with 151 occurrences requiring the AAA researcher to intervene 73% of the time while driving. AAA defined lane centering as a driver assistance system that uses cameras and other sensors to keep the vehicle centered within its lane and provide steering assistance to prevent drifting. Notable events around inadequate lane centering happened every 11.3 miles, or about 32 minutes on average. From there, AAA researchers reported a difference between hands-on and hands-off active driving assistance systems. Vehicles with hands-on systems required intervention 3 times more frequently when compared to a hands-off system. AAA also noted in its study that researchers using hands-off systems were asked to place their hands back on the wheel about once every 5.5 miles or every 15 minutes on average. Each vehicle in this study, the Ford F-150, Honda Accord, Lexus RX, Mazda CX-30, and VW Atlas, were driven an average of 342 miles over a period of about 16 hours with GPS data, video, and audio to capture traffic conditions, vehicle behavior, and driver observations. At the conclusion of this study, AAA says it will collaborate with industry leaders and other stakeholders to enhance testing and expand consumer education about autonomous systems as they become more widely used. Based on this study, improving cut-in response and lane centering behavior is important, but AAA also underscored that how ADAS information is presented to drivers in the vehicle, how it's presented, is equally important. Meanwhile, AAA is one of 6 organizations advocating a universal naming structure for ADAS features. Consumer Reports, J.D. Power, the National Safety Council, the Partners for Automated Vehicle Education, or PAVE, and the SAE have joined AAA. The initiative is known as Clearing the Confusion. Collectively, the organizations say the names that are used to describe ADAS features across the industry vary too much and ultimately create confusion for the car-buying public. Some ADAS features may have long names, include a string of abbreviated letters or unfamiliar acronyms, and may be only partially clear as to what function they perform, when, and how. To this end, the organizations maintain an ongoing list of popular ADAS features, but with a standardized nomenclature. Each feature on the list is given a straightforward name with a concise definition of what it does. The organizations are asking automakers to adopt this more universal ADAS naming structure and its corresponding descriptions and terminology. See the links in the show notes to learn more about this AAA study and the Clearing the Confusion campaign. AutoVision News Radio is available 24/7 on all major podcast platforms. Thank you to our listeners all over the globe, the United Kingdom, India, Germany, Australia, South Korea, and so many more. Thank you for listening, no matter where you are in the world. I'm in Detroit, and I'm Carl Anthony, AutoVision News Radio.